Now, the runoff polls for the presidential office in Brazil is clearly heating up because incumbent Jair Bolsonaro and Lula da Silva are the big contenders for the top job in the South American nation. But what exactly is the voting process in Brazil and who is ahead at the moment? That is what we're explaining today. Now, Brazil's president is chosen directly by the 156 million people who make up Brazil today. There is no electoral college or a legislature. And of course, a candidate needs more than 50% of the votes to take that top job in the nation. If none of the candidates manage to get the required number of votes, the top two candidates face off in a runoff election. And the top contenders for this runoff election are Jair Bolsonaro and Lula da Silva. But who are these two candidates? Now, Jair Bolsonaro is the incumbent president of Brazil, a right-wing leader. He came to power in the year 2019. And he's been involved in several controversies, and that includes allowing deforestation and mining in the Amazon forests. He's been accused of being responsible for the death of as many as 6.8 lakh Brazilians. And this happened after he dismissed COVID measures during the pandemic. He was also accused of being involved in corruption scandals, and that involves the purchase of COVID vaccinations. And the other contender is Lula da Silva. He is a two-time former president. He belongs to the left-wing Workers' Party. Lula also was convicted to 10 years in prison, and this on charges of corruption and money laundering. He served a 19-month sentence before the sentence was overturned by the country's Supreme Court. And now that we've told you who the top contenders are, let us tell you how they are likely to fare in the runoff election, where the two candidates will face off against each other. Lula da Silva has a slight edge over Bolsonaro after the first round. Bolsonaro, the incumbent president, has secured 43.2% of the votes in the first round, while Lula da Silva has secured more than 48% of the votes. That makes Lula the favorite for now, and Jair Bolsonaro is looking to narrow that gap between the two. A televised debate was the latest battleground for these two leaders to square off against each other and turn the tide in their favor. While both leaders have promised generous welfare programs without breaking into government budgets, neither has focused on how they would raise the money that they require. Inflation is a major concern in Brazil too, much like many other parts of the world. While it has dropped from double digits to around 9% in recent months, reports suggest that several Brazilians have struggled to afford food in the past year. While economists are looking for the leaders to address these issues, the two contenders are trading personal barbs at each other. Lula has called Bolsonaro out for his handling of the pandemic. He said, and I'm quoting him, "Your negligence led to 680,000 people dying when more than half could have been saved." End of quote. In turn, Bolsonaro has attacked his rival, and he said, and I'm quoting Bolsonaro this time, "Your past is disgraceful. You did nothing for Brazil but stuff public money in your pockets and those of your friends." End of quote. Now, political commentators are suggesting that the debate was more personal than actual substance. They also suggest that the contest ahead of polling day on the 30th of October will be a nail-biting contest for both the leaders who are looking to edge past the other.